Okay, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank all of you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to this very, very important video about how you can help people and how you can become very wealthy yourself. It's called Strather Sheriff Sales Strategies. We've done about 100 sheriff sale transactions, and we've developed a strategy. We develop strategies to help homeowners and also to help ourselves. Let me give you a little background. When a property is being foreclosed, most homeowners are pretty depressed about it. You know, if they owe 100 grand on their house, they're losing their house. But the truth of the matter is something that they should probably be happy about. They don't know it yet. You see, the house is going to be put up, maybe sell for $30,000 or $40,000, and that leaves a lot of room. That means that they could take 50 to 60 to 70% off the price that they owe on the house, but they certainly cannot get a mortgage themselves. They're in pretty tough shape. They're having a foreclosure. They wasn't able to make the mortgage payment. But here you could come in and buy that house, put a mortgage on it for maybe 75%, say 75 grand, and even give them a little bit of money or tell them they could stay 6 months because you've gotten all of this cash. They have to cooperate and allow you to do this now. They got to give you their deed or enter a purchase agreement with you at a bargain price, and you could share that with them. And you both would become wealthy. And you could do it over and over and over and over and over. Right now, we have one gentleman from Texas that comes up and he buys about 50% of all the homes in the sheriff's sale. Now, that's pretty embarrassing for a group of people. Like, we're the largest group of African Americans in the United States, and to be totally leveraged like this is rather embarrassing. So on our 50th year, I want to empower everybody. Now, look, I have developed a very impressive set of credentials. I have mastered how to buy real estate, and it's certainly very, very, very valuable. And yes, my classes, I sold them up to 5,000, blah, blah, blah. But you know what I want to do? I want to take these 50 ways and make them available to my constituents and my community. And I'm going to do it for $50 per deal. Can you imagine finding out how to do something for 50 bucks? So it's not the money, it's the burning desire that you have. And if you want to do it, and this is going to be a good example. We did 50 ways to make $1 million on September the 13th. And the tape didn't quite come out like I wanted, so I'm recutting it right now. But the sheriff's sales, this was part of it. So I'm lifting this out and I'm presenting this to you. In other words, the 50 ways, we gave everyone 50 ways, but we took the sheriff's sale and we did a deep dive. Show you how it's really done. The same way we're going to do with each one of the 50 ways each week for the next year. For the next 50 weeks, we're going to take one deal each and dive deep into it and show you how to do it and buy real estate and use it without putting up cash. And I'd like you to judge our firm based on what you think about what I'm fixing to present to you. So let's get it on. And thank you very much for your time. So let me share the screen with you. And we are going to bring it up. Here we go, everybody. Okay, now the slideshow, and this is my birthday. Oh, okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Before I get started, I want to tell y'all something. This was created, this PowerPoint was created by Robin McClellan. Robin is the CEO of Strather Academy nowadays, and she is also a student that came 6 years ago to Strather, and she hadn't done a real estate deal. Robin is also in a scooter. That means that she cannot walk upstairs. But Robin bought her an 8-unit building for $280,000, and she put down, I believe it was $24.32. And so I want to say to Robin, thank you for your services over the years. And Robin just got her promotion, and I'm so happy that she's going to be running the show. So, but I'm still the coach now. So here we go, everybody. Get you a good cup of coffee. Call your friends. I'm going to teach you something that you probably do not know. I'm going to teach you how to make money in sheriff sales. Now, there's a lot of talk about our property tax auction. Yes, they're all over the world. They know. But what they don't know is that the sheriff sales is every week, not once a year or twice a year. It's every week. And the deals are even just as good or better. Every single week, we have an auction and millions of dollars is made. And Detroiters are not participating in it. And I am giving this to you to empower you, if I can encourage you to get involved in the share sales. Let's get it on. This is going to take about 20 to 25 minutes, but I guarantee you it's worth it. And wait till the end because I got one big surprise for you. Okay, let me introduce myself. I'm Herbert from Herbert Street. Yes, I lived on Herbert Street between Scotton and Junction in 3 different locations. I'm an ordinary guy. I didn't have any money, but I had a burning desire. An ordinary guy. Look, I was less than average. I stuttered bad. I was in speech therapy. I wasn't in regular class, and I had a C average on a good day. But an optimist club came along, saved my life. I entered an oratorical contest, and after 2 or 3 years, I won, became class president, and I want to be the president of everything. So at 19 years old, I was the #1 agent at Bowers Realty, and God has blessed me. I've closed 2.2 billion in transactions without money because I didn't have any money. And most of you may know that my biggest transaction was Motor City Casino. I created the casino industry, and I was the chairman of Motor City Casino. But I'm not so sure the casino industry is going to get me in heaven. I want to do something that empowers my community. And I don't want my legacy to be the casinos. I want my legacy that I fought the good fight and that I've already made 100 millionaires. I'd like to make 50 new millionaires this year, 50 new, and I want you to be one of them. And I've taught more than 2,000 students at Wayne County Community College, and I've taught at Harvard and in Cambridge for 21 years. When I say taught, I lectured at Harvard. I was not a professor. My pastor was a chair professor at Harvard, so that made it a little easy for me. Well, I've also tried to pay back. I built 155 Optimist clubs in the world. That's Optimist International if you want to check it out. And if you're interested, let me know. Hey, I'm a feminist by definition. I have all girls, all granddaughters. I have no sons. I have no brothers. I have no uncles. So God has blessed me, but I am crazy about them. In addition to that, I got 54 godchildren, and most of them are girls. And I'm just crazy about them. There's a little saying about guys getting girls all the time. I won't say what that is, but some of y'all know what it is. I am very appreciative of my students. So all of you, the alumni, those of you who are alumni, and those of you who have just meeting me, I hope that we're going to do some great things together. But I thank my alumni very much. Now we're going to get into an in-depth discussion about getting rich, helping others without you spending any money. And it's called Wayne County Sheriff Sale. I call it Strather Successful Sheriff Sales Strategies, but we're abbreviated for now, so I won't get the big head. Strather Sheriff Strategies. How's that? Okay, let's go. First, you got to establish your goal. What is your goal? And you have to be in writing. Is your goal to help homeowners? I hope so. If you have that mentality, then I want to pour into you all I got because you want to help homeowners. This is a strategy that works. You could have wholesale opportunities. Because don't forget, these properties are going for a fraction of their value and they go every single week. You could do retail flips. I'm not a big fan of flipping houses. I like to buy them and keep them, put a mortgage on it. I'm definitely not a fan of renting single homes. So I like the duplexes. And because with taxes going up now, your taxes could be 50% of the rent. It's awful. It's not pleasant. There's a way to do it, though, that you don't have to have those taxes, and I'm going to tell you that. Home ownership is another very important goal. You may want to get to the sheriff sales to buy you a home for yourself, your family. It's a great way to do it. Now, the bidding rules. If you're going to bid, there's a couple of things that you need to know. First, if you go down when you bid, you can't have your phone. You have to cut your phones off. No outbursts. Put them on silent. You bid increases only. If the bid is 10 grand and you bid 500, then it's 10.5. 700, then it's 11,002. But you don't say if the bid is 10 and you want to go 500, you don't say 10,005 because then you got 20,005. So it's bid increases only. Remember that. And the original bid must be a cashier's check. The auction takes place on the 13th floor of the City County building every Thursday. Be there by 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock. They're going to tell you the minimum bids, prices on the various addresses. You got to go get a cashier's check for that amount. The minimum bid must be a cashier's check. Everything else could be cash or incrementals. Do not sucker bid. Do not bid against yourself. Don't overbid. Let them win. Let them bid. And then you have 6 months or a year to take them out. We'll get into that in 1 minute. Okay, now how do you approach a homeowner? Well, psychologically, you have to be very careful. You should be professional. You go up to the door, ring the door, step back. Have the right mindset. I'm here to help you, ma'am. Are you aware that your home is being foreclosed? Well, ma'am, we're here to help you. Do you want to stay in your home? Do you mind if I come inside for a minute? Because listen, you're outside talking. You don't want the neighbors to know about it. And one thing, go single or two ladies, no two guys, please don't. You would scare them. One guy professionally ring the bell and step back from the door. Believe me, they're going to look through the shades anyway. They may not open the door. Be professional. State your purpose is there to help them. Don't forget, this is a win-win. You don't have to be sneaky. Get an appointment at the office. If you bring them to the office, then I'll show you how to do it. Now, if you want to do this, of course, you would join the team. And you say, Herb, I want to be on the sheriff's sale team. And we would need about 6 or 8 people on there to really help out the homeowners in the city. And it's going to be fabulous. We haven't deployed sheriff cells in about a year because we've been really, really busy. But I would love to get back and deploy it again. And let me know. Now, things you need to know when you bid. You got to have a cashier's check, like I said, and it must be for the original amount. Now, after you win, you got to file an affidavit, and it has to be filed within 12 days. If it's not filed in 12 days, then the redemption period is extended. In other words, if you don't file it for 30 days, then the redemption period now is 7 months because it starts when you file. It starts the day of foreclosure, and you got 12 days to file the affidavit. If you do not file the affidavit within the 12 days, then the redemption period do not start until you file. Okay, as long as you got that. Hope you got that. Okay, let's go. Okay, now the redemption periods, if it's a land contract, it could be from 1 to 3 months on a land contract, but a mortgage, if it's a third paid off, is 6 months. That's good news. But if it's 2/3 paid off, it is a year. A year. Think about that. Somebody lose their house, they have a year to sell it, refinance it, joint venture it. Listen, you could go back to the sheriff's sales now and look at some of these homes that's been foreclosed, and you could go talk to them and make deals now. Don't forget, they got 6 months or a year. Now, after you buy the property, there's a couple of things. Or if somebody bid and win and you're living in the property, they can file for abandonment if they come to your home and ask to look at the house and you don't show them. You got to show them the insides, or you have to make an appointment for them to see. If not, they can go to court and ask to shorten the redemption period to 30 days. Because of safety factors, they say. They haven't seen it, they don't know. Anything could be going on with the house, and the judge will allow it to them. You've got to show them the inside. But they don't have to show them day one. They can make an appointment. Now, the overages or surpluses, all over the minimum bid goes to the homeowner. If the minimum bid is 10 grand and it goes to 25, that 15,000 can go to the homeowner, but it doesn't always because the mortgage company have the right to claim it too. Most cases, they do not claim it. But when they do claim it, you got to go to court and fight. And you'll win 60 to 70% of the cases but sometimes they win. So it's not a guarantee you're going to get the overages, but in most cases you do. But if you're going to help a homeowner, the homeowner give you the deed, you agree to put a mortgage on it, give them a lease and an option to buy their property back. That's good. I like that. Um, but when they make out the surplus checks, they're making them in the name of the mortgagor, not your name. Although you have the deed, you won't get the check. They will get it. So knowing that in mind, when you cut the deal, you got to cut a deal on the overages. You may say, we're going to bid it up on purpose. Okay. The purchase agreement is creative. You got 6 months or a year in a purchase agreement. You can easily make this happen. And you could just buy it under a purchase agreement. They could just give you a deed. You're the owner now. You go to the bank as a borrower and not a buyer. Okay. Now here's the different ways you could buy under share, sell, and win, and you're going to love this. You could acquire the title before the bid and win. That means you go to the homeowner, they give you the deed, so you won. You could go to the auction yourself, bid and win. You could redeem with the title holder. The title holder you could redeem with the title holder after the bid, and they give you a deed, and you win like that. You could buy from the successful bidder, whoever they are, and win. Now, the only reason you want to buy from them is that you don't want to redeem it. You may not want to redeem a probate or a family issue or something. You just want to buy and clean the slate. Somebody got tax liens, all that kind of thing. Buy and clean the slate. You could structure a sale. You could structure a sale if you want to and win. You could structure an incentivized sale with option and win. 70% of the people that lose their homes, they lose them again. That's the statistics. But if you incentivize them, say, look, how much was your note? They said it was $900. You say, you know what? I'm going to make your rent $900, but if you pay on time, I'm going to make it $750. You get a $150 discount. Now you could afford to do that because the price that you paid for the home is a lot different than the price that they paid, albeit interests have doubled now. So we have to see how that works out. But you should be able to have a lower payment and should be able to provide that for them. You could structure a wholesale flip and win, or you could bid up any deal you control and win twice. And what I mean, now look here, let me give you an example. If there's a property with a minimum bid, it says 100 grand was the original mortgage. So the bank come out and say they want 40 grand. So you could have someone start bidding. They bid 50. You could bid with them a little while, just get the bid going. Let them bid it up. Let's say they bid it up to $70,000. Now, wait a minute. Let me give a better example. Let's say the $100,000 mortgage, the bank put the minimum bid out at 30. That's about right, about a third usually, 30 to 40. And let's say they bid it up to 60 grand. Okay, now they bid it up to 60. That means they're going to pay $60,000. The bank get paid off, and this bidder paid 60 grand. Now they're going to file an affidavit, and they're going to say, "Look, you owe me 60 grand plus interest plus insurance if I have to put it on." And they say the interest is so much per day, so you can calculate automatically. You can pay them because you're not going to pay them. You're going to pay the register of deeds, and they're going to get the money from them. So they've calculated what amount that they have. This is very, very simple. You could, once they file, say they bid it up to 60, you could immediately go and get to $20,000 or $30,000 in overages yourself. Immediately spend that money. And you don't have to wait until the last day to cash them out. That means you can use all of their money and go back and just give them their money with the little interest, and the equity that in the house is yours. And plus you've used their money. In other words, they put the money up to buy it. You took their money and bought you a Cadillac with it, drove it around. Then 4 or 5 months later, you finance and cash them out and just give them their money back. So you won twice. You got the money 12 days after the bid. And then you turn around and got the money again when you got the mortgage on it. And you win more than twice. You win 3 or quadruple. Because when you get the mortgage on it, there's no taxes on borrowed money. So you win, you don't pay taxes. And then you still have the equity, you could sell it. So that is the great model on share sales. I hope you Understand that. And if there's questions, you could definitely call me. Now, what you do, you wash, rinse, and you repeat again. There you go. Just do it again. Just do it again. Just do it again. Okay, everybody, here's the deal. We could close any deal without cash. We have 50 ways to close deals, 50 ways to do deals without putting up money. Now, this 50 ways to do deals was a seminar, a webinar we did. The sound didn't quite come out so well. So what we're going to do, we're going to take and do it again. We're going to, I've redone it, all 50 ways. If you like this one way, there's 49 other ways. So what does my students say about these methodologies I use? You know, because I've had 2,200 students. I say my most successful student, I would say my most successful student have closed $300 million in deals now, and they got a big public fund. I have other students that have closed 10, 15 deals, and I have I've made $1 million for over 100 students. 100 students have made over, and investors have made over $1 million with me, and I'm proud about that. So let's look at one of these young ladies that did pretty well. Listen to this.
I was a mortgage loan officer for 22 years, and I just got burnt out. It got to be it wasn't any fun anymore. And so I wanted to do something different. I had been looking for something different for a while, but I didn't know exactly what. So I got laid off at the bank I was working for, and it was okay for a couple of months, and I started going crazy. You know, I needed something to do, and so I started looking to invest in real estate.
I received a deal where I had no cash down, no money, and I got a house that's currently worth over $100,000 free and clear.
I'm 61 years old. I never thought I would do real estate. Never thought. I took Herb Strather's class, and I was so outdone with what he do that I told all 8 of my children they need to take this class.
He knows it so intricately. It's just like knowing it on the back of his hand. And that makes it easy for him to transact business. Because he knows so much of it, because he knows how it works, and because he knows the ins and outs of it, he knows which ones are good, which ones are bad, which ones you should buy, which ones have value, which ones are going to go up in value, which ones are going to go down, what's a good deal, what isn't a good deal, you know, the type of people that live in them. I mean, he knows everything about them, and that's what makes the biggest difference. He knows how to make an impact.
Well, it was quite a mind opener. I really never thought of structuring deals like that. I've done a little bit of investing before, but nothing like this. I mean, it's been really quite a mind opener.
For me, it's been really, really easy. I can't say that it's been difficult at all. I tell anybody, take the classes, learn what you need to learn, and then pull the trigger.
Herb's been awesome. He's like taking our hand and holding our hand all the way through it, which is what I really needed. He's put it in a whole different light than what I've ever heard anybody put it before. So it's been real exceptional for me, actually.
Interest rates go up and down, and knowing how to get in and get out, and then knowing how to play in the high interest rate market, how to play in the low interest rate market, how to play in the market when it's hard to get financing. So for him, it never really changes. It's just a matter of the market around him changes and how to adapt to it. So for him, it's always just the same fun game. How do I get the deal done? How do I structure it? Irregardless of if it can be done or not, according to what that person over there says, I know I can do it. I just got to figure out how to put it together and how to make it happen. And that's what he's good at.
Season is here. This is not going to last that long. You know, the change that you're looking for is right here today.
In total, I invested about approximately $20,000 in properties, and the net worth on that today is worth about $500,000, and did that just in 2 years.
Okay, you got it. Straight from my students. I told Paula, I said, Paula, you did that in about 14 months, honey. She laughed a little bit. But she took 20 grand. Listen, she went and paid $30,000 for one of these gurus to show her how to do real estate. You know, I closed $2 billion. They haven't closed 100 million. They couldn't tell her what I tell her because their models are different. So she went back to her husband, and he says, no way, he wasn't putting up no more money. She went and borrowed the $20,000 from her daughter, who was in a financing company, and she used that 20 that she borrowed and ran it up to $500,000. and gave her husband his 30 grand back. So now what I'm doing now is sharing this with my community. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Hope you got it. And I want you to rescue the community. Get us out of this embarrassing shape that we're in. Fight the good fight. Be willing to die for something. Or you're going to die for nothing because you're going to die anyway. And this is one of the tools. There's 49 other tools, and I want you to listen to it. And you can order that now. And guess how much I'm going to charge? You think I'm charging you $5,000 for it? Or you think I'm charging you $500? Or you think I'm charging you 50? That's right, $50. That's it. Okay, think about that. 50 ways to do a deal, $1 per deal. That's pretty good. I don't think we get cheaper than that, can we? Unlock 50 proven strategies for building real estate wealth. Learn to structure deals and walk away with cash at closing. And I'll do that right in front of the banks, in front of FHA. Learn how to buy property without uncapping taxes. As a matter of fact, in the seminar, a lender was with FHA, and he agreed to what I said could work. But he didn't believe it before. But once I explained it, he said, yeah, that's right. Learn to buy property and eliminate property taxes. You also learn to buy without uncapping the taxes, buy partnership interests. Go to the bank as a borrower, not a buyer. Leverage insight to build intergenerational wealth. IG, we're going to get into the intentionally effective grantor's trust, which I use. Get rich before you get rich strategies. I say get rich before you get rich or you'll never get rich. We'll loan you 50 grand to pledge, let your LLC borrow and give us our money back. Turn acquisitions into tax-free transactions. Take the money out tax-free. And you can build confidence like the pros, and you can deal. And one last thing. Learn how to use convertible participating promissory notes. I created it. It's one hell of a tool. And it's all on these 49 that you're going to get for $1 a piece. So I'd like you to take and scan this. It's only $50 and you can buy it now. I said $50. I want to be clear. I can change the price anytime. It's $50 now. The next time you see it, it may be $500 or it may not be available. So I'm giving it away essentially for almost free. So you have a chance to scan this. Now, one other thing. We have two other events I want to mention to you. We do have an event on October the 11th. And we have another event on October the 23rd. And each one of these is going to be different subject matter. It's going to be one of the 50 tools, though. So one of the things we're going to be teaching you is how to use family LLCs and family LLCs to buy real estate without putting any cash down. And then we're going to talk about an entity and a structure that you could create, that you could buy property. And once you buy it, by definition, there's no property taxes. And you could joint venture these deals. So as you get ready to property taxes, the cash flow skyrockets. Now, do the value skyrocket? Probably not, because the appraiser is going to appraise it with property taxes. But while you're holding it, you got a nice cash flow. And the lender's only going to go so far with that, because if you sold it, they would be upside down unless you sold it to an entity similar to yours. And we'll tell you what those entities are. So you get to other 49 ways. So make sure you get this picture. And here is, if you need to get in touch with us, 313-444-9691. So we'd like for you to join us with the 50 ways. And I want you to go to Strather, Strather50th.com, Strather50th.com. And you can register for any of the other classes at Strather50th.com. And I thank you so much. And I look forward for you to join us on the 25th of October when we kick it off. We're going to have a big rooftop party. We're going to really, really party. And I want to tell you something. We're going to kick off a year's event, one deal a week. one explanation a week. We want to do 50 million in deals, and everybody that does a deal cruises. Everybody does a big deal, cruise free. And you get you a suite. And we're going to do a 6-day cruise. It's going to be our intergenerational wealth cruise because we be some rich people. I started saying we be some rich, you know what I'm saying, trying to say, but we won't say it because it's a public document I have here. But we be good and rich. How you like that? This is Herb Strather, your coach, and thanks for listening to me. And I hope you like it. And I look forward to seeing you.